Welcome to another episode of Commercial Property Roadshow. You're here with Helen Tarrant, and while it's a beautiful, lovely day here, and most people, if you're not located in Sydney or Greater Sydney, can go out and inspect properties. We unfortunately cannot, but we're facing this situation where a lot of people are actually doing virtual inspections. And now, we're not always a fan of virtual inspections because I think there's a lot of things that are left out. And so many times people go through virtual inspections and they think it's going to be 15 minutes or 20 minutes, and the agent actually rushes through it, or he just works through from the beginning to the end, and we're actually not sure if he's capturing most of the key things in a virtual inspection. So what I want to show you in this video is a virtual inspection we did with an agent before we actually put the property to a client. So myself and Jerry, our due diligence guy, was on the call so we can have a look what's in the property. It actually went for 30 minutes. We've actually cut it short for you so that you can get the snippets of it. But the main thing, it's important to see what are the things we're looking at and what are the things the agent's responding to, and we'll also send you the information about the property. So let's go and have a look.
Hey, great. Sorry about that.
Right.
Just a bit of a rundown on the property, Mark.
Oh, good. Okay, so I've just stepped back a little bit so I could to show you. So this is the main street of TOOWOOMBA, so smack in the middle of the CBD. That there's called Carnival Lane there. That's a new $1 million investment from the Toowoomba Regional Council that links the car parking on the other side into the actual CBD to improve the experience. So that's right on the doorstep. It's got the Tats Hotel beside it.
Yeah.
So it's part of or sort of 3 hotels in the CBD that sort of are the nightlife. So you just see up the other end there, there's the hotel right there, which is the Cube Hotel. And then Fitzy's up the end there, which would probably be Toowoomba's most popular hotel. So it's sort of right in the centre of the CBD and activity. That one's a brand new one. So that's a new local brewery that started. So it's really in a hub of nightlife and all the rest of it. And you guys aren't. You guys are locked down. We're very lucky at the moment. We're right on the cusp of it.
Yeah.
So it's quite good. This is the building's called the Chronicle Arcade. So it's an arcade that links back into what's called the Heritage Bank precinct. So the Heritage Bank has their head office here in Toowoomba. Yeah. They have an 8-story building there in the CBD that this links into, and there's a whole heap of the Toowoomba Transit Centre links into the back with a whole heap of car parking and that sort of thing as well.
Okay, so the tenant. Tell me about the tenant.
So the tenant's Cork and Lever. They used to own the Tats Hotel across the road. So over there, so they've sort of downsized into a more boutique operation. They've signed a 3-year lease with 2 3-year options. They have basically gutted the site and completely and utterly rebuilt it.
What's the rent?
$55,000 a year plus GST. So it's a gross rent.
Okay.
So because this building has only recently been strata titled, there's been a program to build up the sinking fund, fix a few issues and all that sort of stuff. And the outgoings are really, or specifically the body corporate, are really expensive. So at the moment, it's about $21,000 a year, but there's a body corporate meeting in there at the moment, which takes about $3,000 off the individual outgoings to each site. So it's specifically $3,000 for this tenancy, but that gets rid of the security that the body corporate pays, and it passes it back onto the tenants. It also gets rid of the rubbish removal. So at the moment, body corporate are paying for rubbish services. We're getting rid of that and passing it all back onto the tenant's responsibility. So that's a $3,000 saving, and it brings it down to, I've got it exactly in my diary. Actually, so if you're recording this is, so that's the current budget at the moment with the saving down the bottom. So there's potentially
that includes rates as well. So that's rates for the year as well for the
rates for the year. Yep, water rates and water access and body corporate fees. So body corporate is very, very expensive. So so it comes down, and there is that saving there if that reduction happens. So I've spoken to the owner to say, listen, I appreciate that this is in the pipeline. You would have to guarantee that amount. that would come off because everybody's basically in favour of it. But up until it's passed, then, you know.
Then who pays for the who then pays for the actual rubbish removal? Does the tenant do that? Because if they cork and leave it, they must have some kind of rubbish removal that's part of it.
Exactly. Well, they just organise their own. So they either do wheelie bins or they do an industrial bin in the back area. So this is the walkway down the back. So I can show you where that is. So this is all part of the property down here through the walkway. So it's a
what
fairly
other
big.
Tenants are there?
Oh, so you've got New York Slice at the front there. Then you've got a hairdresser. You've got a jewellery creation. You've got Luminosa Insider Sessions.
Yeah.
What they do. So they're operating at the moment. Round Square Marketing Company. There's work going on in there, so I presume that they're renovating and fixing that all up. But that Luminosa, they've got the signs on three tenancies there actually. So, and then there's another one. So a lawyer's just bought up the stairs here. Up the stairs, they actually put the lift in. So the lift in cut about 5 or 6 square metres out of the tenancy that we're talking about, but it's made the whole complex disabled compliant because the bathrooms are up that stairs. So before the lift, it wasn't disabled compliant, whereas now it is, which is quite exciting. And then to go out this way, this is where all the rubbish removal is. So that's it there. That's the industrial bins at the moment that are paid for by the corporate. So
how old is the building?
Oh, it's it's heritage listed, the actual building itself, Chronicle Arcade. Yeah. So which has been handy because all the front facade got painted because of its heritage listing. It was half price, so the council paid for half and body corporate paid for the other half. So it sort of looks hard to see from here, but anyway, it's been impressively redone.
All right.
So as far as the front entry, it's quite appealing, and it's all basically new, to be honest. So
yeah, okay, that looks good. Let's go and have a look. So what is the asking price? The vendor thinking?
Oh, they're wanting a 6 in front of it, so it's a very tight yield. So that's what they're chasing, but we'll see how we pan out with that, and that sort of works out better if the saving through the body corporate is achieved. So
yeah, all right. So for 600K, it's about 6.3% yield.
Correct. Here we are on the inside, so that's sort of the front area as we step in the door.
Okay. Ooh,
that's
nice.
The bar area. So this is all brand new. All that had been ripped out and fully replaced. So it's all brand new. And
so the tenant does like lunch, or it's just more of a bar situation?
No, it's more of a bar and late night situation. Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So for example, they open at 2:00 today and they'll go through to late tonight. They're closed Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. and then Friday, Saturday, 2 p.m. till late. So it's really only the 4 days that they need to operate.
How much do they spend on the fit out, sorry?
Oh, it's about 200 and something. I did get a rough number, but it went up because they when they pulled out the floor, there was a big step up there. There was floorboards that needed to be replaced as well. So there's a little bit more work that they needed to do.
Yeah.
So it was a lot, but all this joinery, they've done all of it themselves. So it's quite an appealing image to look through. So this is basically from a customer's view. And then there's a staged area there that used to be, when it was the previous cafe, it used to be like open mic nights and, when bands used to play there or functions. Actually, when I was Bonamici beforehand, I even held an auction here, actually. Hired out the place to hold an auction for half an hour.
It's always interesting to be able to have just that pop-up hire.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I agree. So they've done a very good job of behind the counter. And from here, I'll just get behind here just so you can see all sort of the new joinery. new flooring, new fridges into the kitchen area. We'll just see John and Mishy here who have kindly let me sneak behind the counter.
So they do bar food. Is that all they serve?
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's more a tapas style menu, a smaller menu, not sort of. It's not large meals.
And they've got their own bathrooms, or they access all the clients access all the bathrooms, at that common area bathroom. Okay.
Yeah, the bathrooms are outside. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so as in the bathroom through the stairs that I showed you before, just around the corner, that's where the clients go to.
Okay. And did they have was there a kitchen in here beforehand, or they refurbished the whole kitchen?
No. That was here beforehand. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Was there a little stairway just there?
Sure is. Yep. So this goes up to a private office upstairs. So this had to be rebuilt because basically that wall there is where that lift cell is. Remember the lift cell? That's what they took to put the lift in there.
Right.
So basically there's stocks, there's wines, those sorts of things, and then here's private office.
All right. How big is upstairs, roughly?
Oh, it's only really this office, so I reckon it'd be 4 metres by 3 metres office, and then that area there is probably another 3-4 square metres, so not big. And then what's interesting, I'll just put my diary out. That door there goes into a full. Let's see if I can open it. The roof cavity of the building. So it's enormous. Absolutely, you couldn't put another floor up there, but it's just massive. You can walk through there and fix air conditioning and. Yes.
And then just on the roof there, all the panels, are they? Oh, they were just putting some through for it.
Yeah, piping in there. Yeah. So all upstairs, the tenancy that's above it is all like a new lawyer's office and everything like that, and it's completely been rebuilt.
Yeah.
And then these doorways go down into the mall.
All right.
Into the walkway that we were. So that's a little hairdresser signage that we see just there. Obviously security in the site. Yeah, so basically a functional part of the tenancy.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we go back downstairs again.
And sorry, just on your left there, the fire extinguishers.
Yep.
How are they looking?
Oh, they'd be new. So that one's new. That one would have been existing. So two different. That's obviously for your for the fats, and like that's your foam, and that'll be water. It's their evacuation program as well. So it's obviously required for compliance.
Yep.
All the plant and equipment basically belongs to the tenant.
Yep.
Well, it's so they've taken the lights out there, presuming that there's new ones to go in.
Right.
Because the holes have been cut bigger. So, Johnny, is there new lights going up there? Is there, or what's? Oh, there's the intent's to pull that out and then get new light fittings in there, but they may have to patch it to make it smaller depending on what light that they put in there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, there's a new light fitting to go in here. It is like you can see what's going on in here, but it's sort of not the brightest workspace in the world, so that probably makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it looks good.
Yeah. Whereas in here, all the lights have been redone in there. Oops, sorry. With all those lights are brand new. And back to the space again.
And that fire exit there, does that go out the side, or is that?
Oh, that's all the walkway along there. So where all the curtains are, all of them are doorways.
Oh, okay.
The guys have just closed them in. So to give you an idea of
So how big overall is the property? How big overall is it internal?
It was 140 something before they took the lift cell out. So it'll be 130 something now.
And is there any alfresco dining as part of it?
There's, so as in out here, when council did all the footpath and everything like that, the idea was to create that. Well, the street's called Eat Street. To give you an idea, the program when council redid all the footpaths was to create Eat Street. So you can go and apply for a license, and it's quite cheap, like $170. to actually have dining out the front there. I'm presuming there's some restrictions because of COVID. You've actually got to, because you've got to sign in, you've got to come inside, but that's a presumption. I don't know, but they do allow dining outside all up and down this street.
That's good in summer, especially with COVID.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you're spot on. Yeah, spot on.
Speaking of summer, was it just the ducted air conditioning there, or?
There's new ones that have gone in. There's one that's brand new, brand spanking new, that one. And then there's another one proposed for the other end up there. And it's just a simpler way to manage it, because the original ducted air conditioning when the guys came in, it was old, so it's all been updated now. So there'll be two by the time of settlement. There'll be two brand new air conditioners in here, and big ones. They're five grand each, $4.5 grand each, something like that. I did have the original quote.
Is that just for the dining area or for the staff areas too?
No, just for the dining area. Yeah.
Are they getting some for the staff area, or just?
Oh, yeah. No, it's there. There was ducted area out there, but no, there's nothing planned for them there at this stage.
Is there a car park as part of it?
No, there's not attached to the building. The building's basically built to boundary. But to give you an idea, there is so apart from all the car parking now, this is I think back to 1 hour car parking, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m, and then it simply turns off. It's free parking after that. So from there, at that very end door, 50 metres, I suppose. But I want to show you how close it is to the transit centre. Has 2 levels of car parking up above it, which are fully secured. It's cameraed and all that sort of stuff. So it's quite a good, safe parking facility for the CBD. There we are. That's it there. There's your transit centre. 1 level of car parking undercover, and then the roof as well.
So with the tenants, where do they park? Do they park into the centre there?
Correct. Yeah. So up on the top level, Toowoomba Regional Council have just are selling permits for year parking up the top. It's $1,800, and that gives you a parking permit for a year. So it'd be fair to say, do you pay that for a month down in Sydney? Being cheeky,
yes, if we were coming to CBD.
fair call. No, we are like, you can park all day in any of the car parks in around the CBD for $7 all day. So it's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing. Any comparison, sorry, yeah.
So what was everything in the strata title? Is it only that, or is the car park included? Or
no, it's not. So that's boundary. So the door that I've just come out there, yep. The entire building is built to the boundary.
Okay.
So nothing else. So you've got a common walkway through here that goes into the Heritage Arcade. So and that's the building. So that's the home of Heritage Bank. Mm-hmm. So they've got that building themselves, and then this arcade goes all the way through to the back of them.
Beautiful. And that between them, is that attached to the, or is that just an awning on the other building? So if you look,
it's just an awning. Yeah. It's just an awning, and I don't know who owns it, if it's attached to which building, but I don't know, because this one would be built to boundary as well, so it'd just be an arrangement, maybe. Yeah, for bus interchange. So I'll pop back here. Yeah, so that's. I think I showed you that lift, but yep, it's brand new, absolutely brand new, and it wouldn't be used that often because there's no. Oh, there is one. They've split the tenancies upstairs, so there's 2 tenancies upstairs now, about 180 square metres each, something like that. These are the doors that I was telling you about. So, so that door there goes through to the kitchen area.
Yep. Okay,
that's the first one. That one there goes through into the dining area, as does that one. Both have the exit signs above, and these are all fixed panels. So that's where I was trying to get through the first time, but there's no doorway on that. It's just all fixed glass. And then we get back out the front. So that's not, that's obviously new when they started their business and took down all the old bits and pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the sunroof there for whatever reason.
So there's no cracks or drop marks or anything on the ceiling there, hey?
Oh, no. Well, honestly, even if there was, it'd be patched up and painted, to be honest, but it's in very good nick. There's one.
Yep.
Yep, just in the fibro. Yep. The rest, but that's all body corporate, basically. Body corporate takes care of that. That's not the responsibility of the tenant or the owner, sorry.
And then just take a couple more steps back, the edge of the awning at the front.
Oh, yeah. Let's get on the street here.
And so that one upstairs, that's police, right?
Correct. Yeah. So that's it was originally one big tenancy. So that's all new, that one there. And then this side here has actually been leased, I believe. So on the other side. So that was just one all big room. It's all the and there's a sort of a little awning out there. There's a door there. I presume you can get out of it.
Yeah, there's a ladder there too.
Oh, that'll be it. There's a fire escape. It wouldn't be current now, so you'd get in trouble. They're letting people out so they can jump off the roof. Don't think that's the dumb thing anymore.
Break a leg than burn. So I think I've seen what I wanted to see. Helen, did you have any other bits you wanted to see?
No, I'm all good here. You've got that's good. I don't know about that yield. We'll have to. The yield will need to be better than 6.5 for us to do a deal on this one. But look, let me have a look at what. If you send me, have you sent me the lease on this one?
I have a feeling I have, but let me double check.
Okay. If you send me the lease, I'll check through the leases to have a look at what outs the tenants pay and just verify a few things.
The outs they pay are only the trade waste. The trade waste is all that they pay. But what I'll send is the budget for the body corporate. The body corporate is very, very expensive, and there needs to be some upside or some work done on it to come down. So it will come down. I just can't promise it, to be honest. There's those two items that I mentioned that are being dropped off the body corporate or proposed to drop off now, but there probably needs to be another $4,000 or $5,000 just for this unit to come off to become a standard. There's no body corporate inclusive outgoings in the CBD outside of a shopping centre that are over $100 a square metre, and this one is. So it's got to come down. Has to. It's too expensive.
Do you think the vendor would guarantee for the drop?
They will guarantee that first $3,000, but I don't know how long it'll take for them to sort it out, to be honest.
Right. And what do they need to sort out?
Sorry?
And so you said they were raising to sort out some stuff, but do you know what they were going to sort out?
There's the now that they've finished their first 5 years, the sinking fund is actually in a healthy position, so they can drop down the contribution to the sinking fund. There are other operating costs that they need to deal with to make that more beneficial. So that's so that will happen eventually as well. And there's the operating list or budget. It's huge. There's a lot of items that were done simply when this body corporate was created.
Yep. And
it's overkill.
Right.
But I will send that to you as well, just so you can look through and go, oh, what the? To give you an idea, that this one here, I sold this about 3 years ago now. That sold for $495, $500, and it's about 50 square meters smaller than this one.
Right.
That's not right.
Yeah. All right. So let me go back to the office and I'll load you up with a bit more information. And then, and my office isn't far away. So if you sort of want me to come down and go and have a look at something different, then I'm available. It's quite easy to done.
Yeah. All good, all good. That's fine. Look, we're pretty good with everything at the moment. I'll review the lease and everything again, just to have a look and run through the cost again. I think if you send me that script of costs that you had before, I'll go through that and see what else we need, what else is there, and then come back to you with a realistic sort of price point and say, look, this is where we are, and if we can do a deal, we do a deal. Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Sounds good.
All right. Great. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for your time. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeremy. We're going to jump off, and I'll come back on in a few minutes. All right.
So that was a virtual inspection, and sometimes you might give you vertigo by just watching it, and sometimes certainly it does for me, especially uplift properties. We often get our building inspection guy on there, and we often get the rest of our team just to have a look at it. It's an interesting time. Sometimes you can't feel and touch it in a virtual inspection, so you can't see the area of space, you can't get the conceptualness of a property. So for us to be able to get that, often we need to see floor plans, we need to get a visual from, get an aerial view, we often get the leases, and we try to piece together in our head how this deal is and how the deal is done, and then we're going to see if this is actually the right deal for the client. So going forward from here, we will run the numbers. We will look at what it would be in this market in comparable sales. We will try to get ahead of the market, because obviously it's a gross lease and not a net lease, so we need to verify the cost, and of course we need to see how the market is trending moving forward into the future. So just because we are stuck in Sydney, we do have teams up there. So even though this is a virtual inspection now, as soon as we have it under contract, we'll send one of our teams in Brisbane in so they can see the actual property. So all in all, we actually site physically with one of our team every single one of the properties, even though this is just a virtual inspection. But we like to see the property, run the numbers before we send it to a client. So if you're interested and you want someone to help you with your commercial property journey, and you want to branch out and work out if commercial is right for you, click the link below, book in a consultation, or reach out to me at helentarrant.com, so helentarrant.com, or helen@commercialpropertycashflow.com.au, and I will get your journey started. Until next video, keep hunting, keep looking, keep researching. Bye for now.